Have you ever heard of a fluffy corgi? A fluffy corgi is a long-haired version of a regular corgi, but with fluffy hair. I am grooming one today. But first, coffee. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Corgis are not supposed to be shaved, and I am well aware. But this dog has been coming here for probably over 10 years and has been shaved every 7 weeks. And her hair grows back perfectly fine. And their owners like it shaved, and they know it's not supposed to be shaved, and they're okay with it. Since I'm an old groomer, I have the big dogs walk up the ramp and jump into the tub so I don't have to lift them. Once they're trained to use the ramp, they just walk right up it. So I'm going to go ahead and put a loop on her so she can't jump out and get started with her bath. I'm just loading her up with shampoo. Some groomers prefer to dilute the shampoo first. I actually like to just put it on the dog, undiluted. Corgis have a very thick undercoat, and they shed pretty bad. So I'm going to use this undercoat rake while I have her loaded up with shampoo to pull out her undercoat. I have to loosen it up or I'll never get the blade through her hair. It's so thick. Also, I'm trying to loosen it up and thin it out so it'll dry faster because her hair has to be almost completely dry before her haircut. So what I'm doing is I'm loosening and separating her undercoat. Everybody gets conditioner too, and I prefer not to dilute this either. I'm just going to put it on and use the water to dilute it. And then I am using the undercoat rake on her while she has the conditioner on, just to help pull out the undercoat. And now I'm turning the spray nozzle on full blast to try to blast this undercoat out and to loosen it up. Her legs are so thick, I always have a hard time getting the blade through. So I really want to make sure this is loosened up so when I blow dry her, it separates. We're getting tired. I need a coffee break.
Are you hot?
Before I start blow drying her, I'm going to put a mask on because hair goes everywhere. Coffee break. Alright, that's enough for now. I'm going to go ahead and towel dry her face and clean up my mess in the tub. Then I'll get her back out and finish blow drying her on the floor. I'm going to go ahead and set her towel on the ramp so she doesn't get it all wet. And she's still wet, but I'm going to go ahead and get started because I can never completely dry her. It's too thick. I'm going to go ahead and raise the table up and finish blow drying her a little bit more. But first, here's a bonus clip. This is her roommate that she came here with. It's a Tibetan Spaniel. They both come together every 7 weeks, but this guy just gets the pads of his feet shaved, shampoo, conditioner, brush out, ears cleaned, and he always gets dressed up. And this is a little watermelon dog collar scrunchie that I made. It's just a long tube and it slips right over the collar. How cute is this? And it has a little watermelon button. He's ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and put him away and finish up the Corgi. Okay, I'm going to turn on a fan to help her dry as we go. But first I'm going to clean my blade off. I'm using a number 7 blade. I'm just disinfecting it. The disinfectant spray clogs the blade up a little bit, so I just use my toothbrush just for the first few minutes while it's still a little bit wet, just to keep it cleaned out, or it gets jammed up like your lawnmower would get jammed up if you cut wet grass. It's the same thing. I always struggle with these legs because they're so thick, they don't dry, and they're almost impossible to brush out. I just can't get the undercoat out, no matter how much I brush it. Because I want them to be completely dry so I can get the blade through. And if not, they'll look choppy, and they usually do look choppy. I'm going to use my 7 skip tooth blade. It's very sharp, and I'm just going to skim over the edge just to make it look nice and neat. If I press too hard, it'll look choppy. I'm using my comb to pull out the undercoat from the back ankle, so hopefully I'll be able to get the blade through it. I'm shaving the pads of her feet out with a 30 blade, which is very short. I'm shaving her belly out with a 10 blade, which is also short. Her female area gets pretty dirty and crusty back here, so I'm using a 30 blade back here also. And I'm trying again to brush out and dry her back legs, but I just can't get them dry. So I'm using the skip tooth blade again because it's very sharp, trying to get some of this hair off. I'm trimming up her back feet between her toes. And in case you're wondering, well, why don't I just shave her first if I have such a hard time getting her to dry? Because I've tried that many times and she still doesn't dry even if I shave her first. It's just thick, plus I can't get the hair off before she has a bath because it's dirty and it needs to be washed first. Nail trimming is included in the groom.
Here's how auto mechanics remove car scratches in just 90 seconds or less. This simple but brilliant trick is taking the US by storm. It creates a scratch-free look on any surface.
And I'm trying to remove the undercoat from her front legs, but it's just too thick and it won't dry.
For years, Jake watched as car owners struggle with costly scratch repairs. Competitors charged hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars for fixes that could be done in minutes. Determined to find an effective alternative, Jake decided to take matters into
I'm using my skip tooth blade to skim over her front leg. And I'm trimming up between her front toes. and cutting her nails. I'm working my way around to her neck. I'm shaving her neck with a 7-blade. And I'm trimming up her ears with my curved scissors. I'm wiping her ears out with ear cleaner and a cotton ball, and they look pretty good. I always wipe the dogs down with conditioning spray when I'm done grooming them. Also, one thing people probably don't even think of is Corgi's face is shed too. So I'm using this human head lice comb to remove the undercoat from her face. You can see how thick it is, and I'm having a hard time getting it to go through. Look at all this hair it pulls out. The best part of the grooming is time to dress her up. Look how adorable she is. Okay, well, I lost the yellow one. I had to take it off for a minute and I can't find where I put it. So, she's getting a green one now. There's so many things to dress the dogs up in. It's hard to decide. And actually, I found the yellow one later. It fell behind the table. She's ready to go. I'm just going to lower the table and let her walk down the ramp. I'm just going to put her away and let her wait for her father to come pick them up. Remember, her friend is back here too with her.